state chair for the Forward Party. The first thing I want to say is thank you very much for including us in this forum. We appreciate it. We are very impressed with the work that the Delta Kappa Gamma does, not only here in South Carolina and the nation, but around the world. So it's a very impressive group, and we're very appreciative of being here today. So I am the state chair of the South Carolina Forward Party, but the thing that probably is more relevant for this conversation is that I am also the son of a public school 6th grade teacher that spanned 4 decades. So I feel your pain. I know what it's about. I understand the ups and downs. And so education has always been very, very at the top of my mind. First, allow me to say a little bit about the South Carolina Forward Party, because it's very likely this is the first time you've ever heard of it, right? Raise your hand if you've ever heard of it. Yeah. So we are a new kind of political party. We're building our party on values and principles instead of litmus tests, political dogma. We are trying to find better candidates to improve our politics over time. It is a top-down, or it is a bottom-up, as opposed to a top-down strategy. So we are concerned with local school boards, local races, town councils, county councils, and we have, over the past 3 years, and we just passed our third birthday, but over the past 3 years, we have run 6 candidates, 4 of them have won. We've got 2 running in the election coming up November 4th. We stand for fundamental democratic values like the rule of law, respect for the Constitution, and fact-based, data-driven solutions. We stand with entrepreneurs and innovators who drive economic abundance, but expect all Americans to be included in the prosperous fabric of our communities. And we accept the moral challenges of global leadership that continually push us to be better and to do better. In South Carolina, K-12 education is one of our top priorities for candidates who are running on our ballot line. Why? Because education is the foundation of our communities and everything good that is going to happen in the future. It's the foundation of economic stability, civic stability, public health, and long-term prosperity. If we don't get education right, nothing else really seems to matter. So, our key educational values are, first, as I mentioned, we are data-driven, but we're not data unaware. And as you all can probably appreciate, there's an awful lot of data and statistics to be found to justify just about anything in education. And we're trying to be very, very careful that we get it right, or we get it as right as possible. So we're dependent on all of you to help us with that. Secondly, we believe in the importance of education and the professional educators who actually make it happen. We see schools not as just service providers, but as a public good that elevates the fabric of all of our communities. Places where young people learn not just math and reading, but the norms, the values, and the shared knowledge that bind our society together. In a state like South Carolina, where we lag behind national averages and have persistent challenges around poverty, we're especially concerned about the rapid expansion of vouchers and the redirection of public dollars to fund private education in the name of choice, which, by the way, is often a synonym with privilege. We believe real choice must include strong, well-funded, and accessible schools in every community. Third, we don't pretend that all of these challenges are easy, but we do believe that there are successful models out there that can be found to be instructive for all of our schools across the nation, even in South Carolina, but anywhere we can find them. We want to learn from what works and adapt it here. And finally, our North Star in education is always the equality of opportunity and reliability of outcomes. That doesn't mean that every child will have the same result, but it does mean that every child should have a fair shot, no matter what zip code, family income, or background they come from. Now, our legislative priorities. We are supporting our candidates and incumbents and candidates from any party who are willing to focus on these priorities. So first of all, teacher and staff pay and retention. We can't build a world-class educational system without that. That's been covered. We appreciate it. We're with you on that. And clearly, we've got to do better. Accountability in voucher spending. It's already been mentioned. But we fundamentally believe that public dollars should be used to achieve high outcomes for all students. Our legislature and many of the folks across South Carolina have demanded a voucher system. So now we have one that looks like it probably will expand in the future. So if that's the reality, let's at least assure real accountability for outcomes, for equity, and for how that money is used. That includes transparency around admissions, improved oversight for homeschooling, services for students and with disabilities, and performance metrics that allow comparisons across the various options. Taxpayer dollars deserve oversight, no exceptions. A case in point is the $1.5 million that our tax dollars have gone to fraudulently without any clawback in the legislation. That's got to be fixed, and hopefully that will be fixed with the next session that begins in January. Third, curriculum standards. We believe strong, clear curriculum standards developed in partnership with educators, not imposed from above or driven by political fads, are where we need to drive toward. Students deserve access to knowledge that prepares them for a complex world, and teachers deserve the freedom and support to deliver it. Number 4 is early childhood education investments. Learning gaps begin long before kindergarten. That's why we advocate for expanded access to high quality early childhood education, especially low-income families. These investments pay off, as has been mentioned before, in higher graduation rates, lower incarceration rates, and better lifelong outcomes. Number 5 is trade and technical training for high schoolers. The world is changing, and we all know that. AI is here, folks. College is not for everyone, and while we celebrate that young women are now the majority of college attendees, it's clear that we are losing way too many young men to suboptimal outcomes because our education system has not adapted adequately to this reality. Number 6 is data transparency in student outcomes. We believe in measuring what matters and making those measurements transparent and accessible. This kind of goes back to the early comment about trying to figure out what statistics and what data to trust. But it means that reporting on student outcomes needs to be disaggregated by key profile factors so we can identify where help is needed most and track our progress easily. And finally, absenteeism. It's clear that attendance has not recovered to the norms pre-COVID, and absenteeism is the most troublesome among student populations that can afford it the least. This already has alarming attendance deficit and now is becoming a deepening problem in our communities, and particularly the ones who are concerned about deportation. So, in closing, I want to reiterate our gratitude for being invited to this forum. We appreciate it. The work you do as educators and as leaders within Delta Kappa Gamma is at the heart of what makes our community strong. At the South Carolina Forward Party, we're not here to tell educators what they should think, but we're here to learn, to talk about it, and to collaborate on building a system that works for you and the students you serve. So if you take anything away from this, we are committed to practical, student-centered, educator-informed solutions not ideological battles or partisan games. We believe in the power of public education, and we believe that by working together, we can build a better future for all South Carolina children. Thank you. And I'll be around if you have any questions.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.